today? How are you all doing? Oh my god, I missed you all so freaking much. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. It is a wig. I decided since we're doing our life and half the characters have green hair that I should match them, right? So, oh my goodness, the hair. Hi, Fritchie! How you doing? It seems like ages since you last streamed. I know! It's only been like, what, 4 days or something? But it feels like so long, and I missed you all so much. I can't even describe, like, I was just like, oh, I want to hang out with my friends and stream, and oh, I miss it. Green hair is a look, wig or not. I love everything about this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Super love it. Okay. Y'all ready for this? Okay, so you want to do the one that's gonna make me uncomfy, Darmo? Which is, so you can see the 2 saves. These are the 2 that we have. I caught us up today, earlier in the day with Jackie. So, uncomfy? We're gonna do we're dating Cove one? Oh, I should tell us where we left off. So, we left off, hello, wonderful female, nice hair, nerdy. Welcome to Tommy! How are you, my friend? How are you doing? Y'all, I want Satami to become an affiliate so badly. If you would do the wonderful honors of giving Satami a follow, if you go and check out her stuff and decide you like it. She is a fabulous streamer, plays really fun games, is really nerdy and hilarious. I enjoy hanging out with her. Y'all should go check her out. How are you doing, Satami? Words, as my favorite song goes, this is the malignant and a lie. I like that. Good to have you done with my thing. Thank you, so sweet. Just promote. I feel like we need to all promote each other here, you know? Like we all love each other. We just I don't know. Any whoosies. Words are hard today. I'm in the struggle bus. So, where we left off in the game, we started summer 3 and Cove, we started, I guess we're dating Cove now. So we're dating Cove. And we went to his mom's house. We did the one where we went on a road trip to his mom's house because we had to go pick up stuff for him. And we were like, come sleep in our bed, Cove. And Cove was like, I don't know if I could do that. And we were like, come sleep with us, Cove. And Cove was like, I can't. I'm too humble and pure. So then we decided that we wouldn't force Cove to sleep with us. All right, I gotta change the stupid chat color because that's gonna bother the hell out of me. And then the next morning happened, and Cove was like, sorry I couldn't sleep with you, and you were like, that's okay, Cove. We forgive you and your inability to sleep with us because you're cute. And that's pretty much where he left off. We're cleaning up his house now and picking up his things. And then we're gonna head back to the place. Our house. That's where we are. Does that make sense? Words are hard. Alright, hold on. I'm switching the stupid chat box so it's not. You can actually read the chat. I love when I make it. Okay, let's see if that works. Should be black now. Okay. Makes perfect sense. Perfect. What's your favorite weapon so far? Oh, you're asking Satami. Okay. You're one beautiful human. Thank you, Dance Kitty. You're a beautiful human. Words are BS and made up anyways. True. And I don't speak any of them, so it's fine. Alright. I don't remember my voices, so please don't judge me for doing this. Badly. Alright? Alright. We all on the same page about how bad this is gonna be. You took a minute to take a mouthful of water from your bottle and perched on the edge of the bed, feeling productive. He's so cute. I fucking love Cove. We won't judge you, though we might find it funny. That's fair. You know what? I found out that Buggy is the realist and has been silently correcting my spelling like on the title screen of all my videos. I didn't know this. No idea that Buggy did this. Just as like Amon has been doing it. Absolute hero among people And I just want you all to know that, because my dyslexia apparently hits hard some days. And I don't notice. Okay, this is like getting in my eyes and it's annoying me. Stupid wigs! I didn't actually style this today. I think next time I'll style it. Alright. Buggle is fantastic. Buggle's the realist. I love Buggle. Wait, Darmo, I also learned that our family tree got more complicated. You're gonna have to explain it to me, Zazie or Darmo. Cove glanced over at you and paused, putting down the tape gun he had been using to seal up his boxes. He raised an eyebrow. Oh fuck, what was my voice for Cove? Okay. You know, it's really strange to see you sitting in this room. I don't know if that's the voice. Why? Oh, I should also say our character goes by they, them pronouns. So we are LGBTQIA+. Also check the title, looks like it says DLC rather than DLC. I'm leaving. Goodbye. I'm leaving my own stream. I can't spell and therefore we're done. I'm not going to attempt to explain the family tree. That's fair. You weren't kidding about the characters with green hair. I wasn't! That's why I wore green hair! Ko's mom also has green hair. Just wait, killer. Just wait. Also, Ko's mom is a cutie. She is a MILF. You were, Cove, oh my god. Zazie! Take your time with learning. Some weapons had to go. Oh my god. He frowned a little, his eyes distant, and his voice quiet. Wait, okay, now it's gonna bother me if my screen actually says that. If it's not DLC. It does say that! Oh my god, are you kidding me? Embarrassing. I'm an embarrassment. DLC. Done. Fixed. Thank you, Zazie. He frowned a little, his eyes distant and his voice quiet when he spoke next.
That's...
The voice acting? Oh, everything about it. What did I come back to? Me shrimping over Cove and everyone else being sassy? I don't know. During the visits to Mom's, when I was sitting alone in this room, I'd sometimes think about you. You weren't here. It was weird feeling at the time that you just weren't around, and now that you are here in this exact place, I don't know how to explain the feeling. Love you, Go. He shrugged it off and smiled a little as though he said enough already and didn't want to risk sounding silly. Go's new ditch. Oh no, Sassy, I'm leaving. Life is pretty confusing, is all. I didn't know. Oh yeah, by the way, y'all are free to tell me what you want me to say too. This is totally like backseat away. I didn't know you thought about me when you were away. We're direct. I remember that we picked direct this time. That's true. Life makes no sense. I missed you so much when you were gone. You smiled at him. What about I didn't know you thought about me when you were away? Think about me, Co. By the way, I don't think the closed captions are on. Thank you, Zazie! I got too excited by everyone being here and didn't turn them on because I'm the worst. Alright. If you need closed captions, please refresh your stream. I probably won't backseat, kind of tired from work, so I'm content with just chill and see how things play out. That is fine, Drago. If you just want to chill and vibe with me, like, I appreciate you being here in any capacity. Nobody has to backseat if they don't want to. I saw a squishy. I don't see a squishy on my chat, but I saw a squishy. Hi, squishy! Go, you birdie. You're the bestie, Yessie. They're on for me. Okay, cool. I see it. That's weird. Oh, option 1. Now I see a squishy. Okay. He huffed at that, his eyes crinkling at corners as he made a face at you. It's not like I could forget you. He looked away, satisfied, heading over to the closet and the last of the items to be sorted. Also, I'm hoping Kitty appears on the stream too. You can always do the channel report one, and then I will go grab him for you. Otherwise, I kind of just let him vibe while I'm streaming. He's behind me on the couch right now. I can move my butt and you'll be able to see him. But I promise he's there. Before long, every box, closet, and drawer had been thoroughly combed through, with the items either neatly packed up in boxes or organized and returned to their proper place. With a sigh or a relief, you glanced around the bedroom and the work you had done together.
All right.
We're done. Good job to us. I'm gonna change out of my PJs for the drive. Yeah. Well, now I want to let him by since you said that. Here, I'll move my butt. Ready? Oh my goodness. He's on the couch. Do you see him? I suppose you can't really see him. He's next to the unicorn. He's the black dot right there. That's my cat. I kind of hate how there are two different types of captions. There are two on right now? I'm confused, terrible. Is one of them good and one of them bad? When the two of you headed out into the living room, ready to get everything finalized and hit the road, you found Kira in the kitchen, pouring a cup of tea. See, isn't Kira so pretty? Cove headed towards her, leaning casually against the counter that divided the two spaces. Hey, you didn't have to get up so early.
Come on.
Are you crazy? Of course I have to see you off before you go. You can't sneak away while I'm out cold. Yep, there's two on. That's never happened before. What do I do? I could turn one of them off, but Zazzy said that he couldn't see them. I guess better two than none. Can you turn... You should be able to turn one of them off. She beamed at him and, in all honesty, seemed more than happy to be up and getting ready for the day. I'm confused. I only see one. Yeah, so if some of you are seeing two and some of you are seeing one, I'm just going to leave both on, I guess. Because if people need captions, I'd rather them have them. And you can turn off... I know you can turn one of them off if it's the stream overlay one. I can't read. Do you want some breakfast? I've got some muesli or eggs and toast. Oh! And some of the fruity cereal you used to love. That's okay. We should really eat on the road. Kira smiled sadly, a little disappointed, but she seemed to understand that your time was running thin. I thought you might say that. In that case, I've packed up some snacks for the road.
What do you think?
Even if you don't end up eating them, take it in anyways, just in case. You can always feed them to Cliff when you get home and tell him I said hi. Cove laughed and shook his head, knowing his dad would love nothing more than to polish off whatever food Kira had prepared for you. One is on the top and it's hard to see them, but it had to be to turn one off. This isn't the first time this happened. I'm confused! There's a stream closed captioner and the built-in Twitch one. You can turn one of them off. Oh, I see. I had the Twitch one turned off. Oh, okay. Hi, Adam. How you doing, friend? Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay. Cove laughed and shook his head, knowing his dad would love nothing more than
Thank you.
I already read that. I'm repeating myself. Thanks, Mom. You really didn't have to. Thanks for the snacks. That's nice of you to organize this for us. It must be a mom thing to know, like, stuff like that. I'll definitely eat whatever you packed. I'm gonna eat all the food. Okay, I see what you meant about this lady. Isn't she so pretty? And she has green hair. I'm part of their family. I am part of their family today. We are part of Cove's home, hence the green hair. I would like to be Cove's... I was gonna say sister, but then that would get really creepy, so I'm gonna take that back before I say that. You better save some for me too. Kira giggled, hiding her mouth behind her hand. Green hair squad, exactly. There's plenty for... There's plenty for both of you. You can marry into the family. Yeah, but if I have green hair and then I marry into the family, I don't know. I mean, Cliff doesn't have green hair. So, everyone in this game is beautiful, though. Also, is the Discord not showing up for anyone else? It's my laptop internet browser being a butt. Do you want me to put the Discord in chat? What do you mean? I'm confused. Like that? Confused friend. She turned her smile with one of her own before putting her cup of tea aside. Well, I'll help you get the car packed.
Sure.
Sure, thanks. Don't worry, bro. You've seen a worse family tree. My own. Thanks. Thank you for that. No, Discord site isn't loading the channel. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. My Discord's down? Okay, interesting. Sure. The three of you got a move on, taking the boxes from Cove's bedroom and heading down to fill the back seat of the car until there was barely an inch of space left in the back and trunk. Hi, Lily! We're doing the new DLC! Are you ready for this? I have good news. What, we're dating Cove? Give me the good news. Oh, I just pulled my headphone off my head. I'm excited. What's the good news? Spill the tea. With all of you helping, it only took a couple of trips to move everything and you were done before you knew it. Then it was truly time to say goodbye. You convened back inside the apartment where Kira looked over the two of you with a quiet smile. It was great to see you both. Thank you for coming. She gave each of you a hug and felt a little sad that you hadn't been able to spend more time with her. It was good to see you too, Mom. Cove embraced her in return, the two of them holding on to each other for a few seconds longer. I'll miss you, but I'll visit again. I mean the credits of our life beginning and always. How is it, Lily? Is it adorable? You better. Hey, we should make plans for you to visit us too. I'll let you know when it's settled. I'd love that. Kara bundled all of the stuff she prepared into a bag and handed them over to you. You took a quick peek at what she had packed. There was fruit, nuts, seeds, hard-boiled eggs, and some veggie sticks. Oh, she's so healthy. Oh, good to see you've got some fresh food options now. The snacks I brought weren't. I mean, like my name, like when you see the credits, I'm there. Lily, that's so cool. That's awesome. Your names are in the credits to this game. You're cool. You're a cool person. Kara shook her head at him and let out a soft laugh as though she wouldn't have expected anything else. I seriously hope you're feeding yourself better than that at home. Yeah, of course, just not on trips. I can live with that, then. She looked over him fondly, her eyes at least focusing on his face and filling with emotion. I'm going to miss you, baby.
Me too.
Me too. Thank you for letting us come. No problem at all. You're welcome anytime. Kara put an arm around you both, pulling you in tighter in her sides for one final squeeze.
Bye.
Have a safe trip. We will. With a last goodbye, you exited the apartment, though Cove hesitated for a moment in the doorway, his expression distant. You weren't sure what he was doing, though you tentatively took a step towards him. Look for me. I'm in the bottom left corner toward the end. At least that's last I saw. Okay, we have a while before we hit the credits, I think, because we have like all of the DLC and half of this chapter. So we have a while, but I'll make sure I keep an eye out. Everything okay? Your voice seemed to bring him back to earth, and he shook his head to clear his thoughts, his green hair swaying from side to side.
Come on.
Yeah, let's go. With that, the two of you headed back down to the scar, ready to take the long trip home. Soon enough, you were on the wide open road with a car full of coast things and only one destination, Sunset Bird, California. The drive went as smooth. Is that a real place? The drive went as smoothly as could be expected, with the morning slowly creeping into midday as the smiles flew by. After a while, you switched places with Cove and took over driving for a couple hours. The day flew in a whir of open road and sunshine, and before you knew it, it was early afternoon. By that point, you had already crossed the state line. Cove announced that he planned a little stop on the way home. He was quite pleased with himself as you arrived at the precipice. Also, I have bad news. My computer is kicking the bucket despite me getting it in December, and I also broke my toe. Oh no! And I don't have any money and that stuff, so I need to take time to breathe and then tackle it. So I'm gonna take that break. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lily. Also, is Discord down for me? Apparently Discord is down for everyone. We just had this discussion. I'm not sure what's going on. I think Discord's down for everyone. It seems to be messing up. I wonder if it was working for me before stream. Maybe if I try now, it will be down. Looks like we're having trouble connecting. Oh, no, it is down. Is it just my Discord that's down, too? I'm confused. I was in a server seconds, before the server went down. Is Discord or in Discord? Yeah, it's my server in Discord, it looks like. There'll be other Discords that will be down as well. Weird. I don't know what's going on. That really stinks. Hopefully it'll be back up soon. Yeah, it's nothing I did, so it must be like a Discord thing. How confusing. Well, I'm sorry that's going on for you, Lily. How are you feeling? I know you've had some sucky health stuff going on. Besides, breaking your toe. That really sucks. I'm sorry, friend. My other Discords are working. Weird. I just posted something, then a few minutes later it went down. Yeah, this Discord has an error. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. Because, I just posted something too and it was fine. So, I don't know what to do about it. Shading beneath a canopy of enormous redwood trees, you drove along. Oh my god, why are we going to the redwoods? Cove. Cove. When Cove parked the car, you pushed the door to get out, and the first thing you did was look up. Enormous redwood trees surrounded you on all sides, their massive trunks shooting straight up into a canopy of foliage overhead. There were too many of them to count, stretching on and on as far as you could see. You squinted against the sunlight that was peeking through the leaves and dancing on the paths around you. I'm back with dinner. Welcome back, Serenity! When other server I'm in is down, it'll be back. Give it a while and it should be back. Okay, thanks, Zazzy. That makes me feel better. Hopefully it comes back. Here's hoping. It's great, right? He smiled at you from over the roof of the car before glancing around the place fondly. Remember the trip our families took here that one summer? It was cool, going on a journey and seeing the forest in person, even if we didn't stay very long.
So...
And I guess we can stay for even less time this time, but oh well. Those are actively investigating and fixing the issue, they said. Well, that's something. It just seemed like a good time to stop. Who knows when we'll get another chance. His voice got a little softer at the end. It seemed to be bittersweet for him, being in a place he was so fond of, but not having the time to appreciate it fully. You were pleased to have stopped here. You felt pretty good about being there. You didn't mind it either way. You would have preferred not to stop at all. No, we love Cove. We love being here. We love being with Cove in all places. It was a beautiful place to stretch your legs and take in some fresh air. I'll put up with you for the trees. Oh, so sassy. Thanks for bringing me here. I like that one the best. Cove smiled, shoving his hand in his pockets and tipping his head. No problem. The two of you walked around for a while, completely dwarfed by the sheer scale of the redwoods. It kind of put your view of yourself and everything in a strange perspective. You took in a lungful of clean forest air, listening to the sounds of birdsong and the cool breeze rustling through the underbrush, taking advantage of the space to move around freely. However, you felt about being there. It was a totally different scene than sitting in that old car for hours and hours. I'm having green chili dogs. I like that pup time got activated because you said chili dogs. That sounds delicious. I had chicken nuggies for dinner because I'm a child. Full out, just a child. Oh my god, do we wrap an arm around Cove? Do we wrap our arms around Cove? Do we wrap those arms around Cove? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Oh, my camera just did something weird fun. We love that. Avi, yes. Is that even a question? I didn't eat dinner to save money. I have 20 cents. Oh my god, Lily! Eating is so important. You don't have any groceries or anything? Little Jackie's here. We know the answer already. True. Anytime Jackie has the option, Jackie's gonna wrap the arms, wrap the arms. He relaxed into your touch and smiled at you fondly, enjoying the closeness. Being here again, you couldn't help but reminisce on what else had happened during the trip. You had taken here all that time ago. There were a lot of things that reminded you of it recently. So I have to say here, I am watching you play this cute game with pretty light colors and such, and then my boyfriend is in blaring the heaviest metal right next to me. It's such an interesting pair. Wait, I can add to this. Ready? Choke me like you hate me, but does that help you at all? Hold on. I'm melting. I needed to turn down the lights a little bit. They were hurting my eyes. I had hot dogs with kosher pickles. Ooh, that sounds good. I can't afford groceries. Oh my god, Lily, is there anything that, like, way we can support you? Like, is there, like, a food place I can look up near you? I know there's, like, food kitchens and pantries and stuff. Like, you gotta be able to eat, my friend. That's really scary. I can't even do commissions to earn money since I don't have a computer right now. Oh my god. Lily, we gotta figure something out. How can we help you? I feel like background music would be better for homework studying. Maybe. Not romance? You're saying this isn't romantic music? I love chicken nuggets, Birdie. I'll eat some with you. Chicken nuggets are my favorite. Why am I the most washed out right now ever? I don't know how to fix this. I'm asking a few friends to see if I can invite them to Cash App for the invite bonus. Well, that's something. I'm trying to think if there's something more sustainable, though. I'll think on it, Lily. We got you. We'll think on something. It's far no luck, but I'm sure I'll get $10 for a crate nearby. That's so stressful. I looked over at Cove, who seemed to be lost in the peace of the place, and you wonder if any of it crossed his mind. Smiling at the sight, you thought back on what had been a highlight of that long-gone vacation. Elizabeth teased us mercifully on that trip, remember? Liz really pulled no punches when she was a teen. I can hardly believe some of the things she said to us. Cove groaned, and though his eyebrows dipped grumpily, you could see the shadow of a smile tugging at his lips. I remember, unfortunately, but I don't know why you're pretending she's gotten better. Liz never gives me a break. Our sister never gives Cove a break. We should eat chicken nuggets for the Saturday stream. I could make chicken nuggies for brunch. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm gonna do a GoFundMe for computer stuff so I can do commissions in school. That's a good idea, Lily. I know, are you in school currently? Because sometimes schools have like a student emergency fund that you can get like support with. So that might be an option too if you're in school. It would be great for homework studying. It's calm. Yeah, this music is very calm. You had to crack a smile. Cove was honestly a favorite target for hers, but so were you. You continued chatting about the trip a little while longer, about the things you had seen and done and even eaten. A lot of the memories Cove had of the trip were similar to your own, but you were also surprised to hear of a few other things from his point of view. So much had happened that there was no shortage of things to talk about. The place certainly had a nostalgic quality about it. Your spirits were light as you ambled past information boards and picnic areas. But before long, you decided it was time to bring this short stop to an end and head back to the car to get on the road again. Cove sighed. Draco! What the frick? Thank you for cheering 1,000 biddies. Thank you! What the heck? You wanted the crunchy brain emoji? That's one of my favorites. Crunchy brain. I hope you enjoy your new emote. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the support. The hand before unlocking the doors.
Well,
I wish we didn't have to go, but before we're going to be responsible, not stay longer than we should. How grown up of you. He smiled slightly, and with that, the two of you jumped in the car, buckled in, and he put it in drive. I can read, I promise. You were getting closer and closer to town as the sun started setting, though they were still far enough away that the radio stations were unfamiliar to you. Oh my god, he's so pretty! Cove twisted the dial this way and that before stumbling onto a channel with a song he seemed to like. That was a rare gift for the fates. In a sea of static, strange radio jockeys, and grating tunes. His face immediately brightened at the sound of it, and he drummed his fingers along the bottom of the steering wheel happily. Sitting back in the seat, he popped his head along in time to the tune. I'm gonna laugh at him. Side profile, too cute, right? He's so cute. Cove looked over and rolled his eyes with a smile, clearly enjoying himself despite everything. The song ended and Cove reached over to start cycling through the radio stations again. Upon finding nothing tolerable, he flipped the dial off in defeat and leaned back in his seat with a sigh. You rested your head on your hand and stared out the window as the sky darkened, watching the landscape slowly melt into more familiar views. The miles went on, and any energy you had earlier was beginning to drain away. You imagined home and your family. You'd be there together soon. You know, I've spent all these years living in Sunset Bird and taking a few weeks each summer to visit my mom. That's not gonna happen anymore, not really.
I mean...
I can still see my parents, but the way it all works between us has changed forever. God, growing up! Oh, it hurts! Hold on, I'm like literally a ghost. Did that help? I'm less of a ghost now. Good. I can never figure out lighting. Someone please send help. His animes have the power of constant visibility. His anime eyes are too beautiful for the world. Lighting is hard. Yeah, I need like a light behind me to like counteract the lights in front of me, but it never works. Hold on, my internet broke. Oh no, Lily, I'm so sorry. A serious look settled on his face, his thoughts far away. I'm excited to be on the brink of a real adulthood. Oh, the battle's ready. We'll do it at the end of this chapter. I'm worried about how things will be in the future. So many things will be different. I hope I'm ready for... Cove's mouth pulled into a tight line and he gave a small nod. You got the feeling that he understood how you felt. Cove stared straight ahead, down the long, long road. I love you, Serenity! The path looked like it never ended from where you were, but that wasn't true. Eventually, he found a few more words to say.
I'm so glad.
I think it's good we were able to do this trip without any parents or chaperones. It was just us. We did it all. I don't know, I feel a little more independent now, a little more ready for what's ahead. I'm not sure I'll ever be ready. Right. It's like a real first step to be on our own all the time. I'll be here before we know it. The talk seemed to wear on Cove, and he made an attempt to find something else to speak on. So I'm kind of sad about getting back. I'm gonna miss having you right there tonight. He's gonna miss sleeping next to us! He cleared his throat quietly, though said nothing more. You smiled to yourself a little at hearing him say something like that out loud. I'm gonna miss it too. And with the feelings confirmed as mutual, the two of you fell into a comfortable silence. Why don't we just always sleep over at each other's houses, Cove? It's fine. The sky outside grew darker. As the hours passed by, the stars blinking on like tiny fireflies painted onto a canvas of blue. The scenery, right? It's talking me. The scenery continued transitioning between open roads, industrial areas, and beach towns, becoming increasingly recognizable as time went on. You felt somewhat disconnected from the world around you as you watched it through your window, your tired mind growing hazy. It was a strange reflective feeling, but peaceful nonetheless. Soon enough, the world would return to you and you'd find your feet firmly on the ground. It couldn't be helped. The adventure would end, life would continue, but your memories would linger on. And now we have the new DLC! Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So what do we want to do? Hang, errands, talks, charity, reflection, late shift, serendipity, voting, or happiness? Yeah, new DLC! New DLC! I'm literally so excited. Reflection, look at me. I will never pass as the perfect person for Cove. Or the perfect child. That's what reflection. You're voting for reflection, Draco? What is everyone else's votes? Let me do Steam Raiders. Let me see if this works. Oh, no, that's that one. Where's the other one? Raiders. Right there. The window doesn't want to load. Hello, window. Will you load? No? Okay, well, this is now awkward. How do I show you this? I'm gonna have to add a window capture real fast. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Everything is messed up. Whoa, that's Steam labels. Y'all, look at my labels. Who's proud? Nope. Nope. We're having some crutchy tech. Wait, but I have no shame. And you were having a go at me for mentioning Dick Dharma. Wait, what? Who mentioned Dick again? Reflection. Reflection. Okay. Wait, I'm trying to figure out how to show you the... I think I'm just gonna have to do a display capture. Which is really annoying. I'm not a fan. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. You ready for this tiny display capture so that I can just show you the thingy? Welcome back, Lily! Nice job, Darmo. You got 11 kills. And nice job, Zazzy. You got 5 assists. Badasses. Start the battle. Oh, I always forget to put a person down. Here, I'll actually help this time. Hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate, Lily. Darmo was having a go at me for mentioning a game update, Birdie. Tell your son off for bullying me. Darmo, go ahead and bully Zazzy. I appreciate it. All right, reflection. We're gonna do some Mulaning up in here. New DLC. Okay. After finishing breakfast, surfing dad. Thanks, son. You're the realist. I was an internet backup, but in the end, I didn't have any Cash App invite money since nobody was available for it. Oh man, I'm so sorry, Lily. After finishing breakfast at the Holden's house, you and Cove had retreated to his room to relax before starting the day in earnest. Or perhaps you would take it easy for the whole afternoon. Neither of you had plans exactly, so you were free to do whatever came to mind. You were leaning against Cove on his bed. You fiddled with a Rubik's Cube Cove had around. You stood watching Cove's fish swim idly around their tank. You sat next to Cove on the bed, toying with his hair. You sat on the ground, doodling pictures in the sand scattered across the floor. I'm getting a cell phone call verb. Okay, Lily. I hope it's good news. The betrayal. Deception. Disgrace. Anyone have a solid interest in one of these? Jackie, I know yours is going to be leaning or playing with Cove's hair. I have like a 99% certainty that that is going to be your suggestion. So I'm just going to already take that into account. My suggestion is toying with his hair. So Tommy too. Okay. Toying with Cove's hair. Fiddle with the cube. Uh-oh. We got a tie then. Mine was gonna be the fish, so none of us are on the same page anymore. Oh no. I'm gonna do... I'll second the fish. Okay, well that's no longer a tie then. Fiddle with Cove's cube. Darmo! Bonk. His hair though. Oh, well that's a tie again. We'll do his hair. I'll do his hair for y'all. You ran your fingers through the short strands, flipping them between your fingers, and if you were a hairstylist assessing a new look. Really though, you just liked the way the bristles tickled your fingers. Even with your mind elsewhere, you could tell Cove was similarly at ease. He had his chin propped up with one hand, and as he scrolled through his phone. Yay! Thank you, Terrible! I'm glad it's back up. That was weird. I wonder what happened. A burst of laughter broke the silence, hooking your attention and bringing you back to the present. You looked at Cove for an explanation. His eyes now crinkled with mirth were still locked on his screen. Are you gonna let me in on the joke? He finally looked up at you, smirking. Dad scanned some old photos, you know? He drew a rectangle in the air with a phone freehand. Printed out ones, back from when I was little. He texted it all to me last night. I guess I've been checking them out. You were looking at kitty photos? You didn't tell me! Can I see? That's cool. You smiled. That sounded nice. You sat up wide-eyed and hopeful. You wanted to see! I want that one. We want to see! Want to see? It's okay. I just wanted to look at it first to make sure there was nothing super embarrassing. You never know with my dad. He grimaced, envisioning the horrors his dad might unwillingly spring on him. I mean, what if there's a photo of me getting potty trained or something? My mom, fun fact, my mom has a photo of me getting potty trained, like straight up. I have a, what's it called? A, like, outfit on from, like, an ice skater's. So I'm not even, like, fully clothed in it. And I'm getting potty trained, and it's her favorite photo of me. She, like, shows it to everyone. I'm like, Mom! I am good. Stop showing this to people! So yeah, that's my update about my mom being embarrassing. Don't we all have one of those photos? I guess. Pretty much, right? You expressed an empathetic shudder and nodded. You laughed at Cove's fraught expression. Kid pictures are supposed to be embarrassing. That's part of the fun. Yeah, that sounds like something your dad would do. Cove only cleared his throat nervously, the fear of his dad's well-meaning actions still looming large in his mind. Would you rather have that photo shown to your future boss or that clip of you saying you're a professional meat swinger? That photo, because kids can get away with more. If I would rather have the photo of me getting potty trained shown to my boss, because the boss would just be like, oh, that's a kid getting potty trained. Where me saying that clip is, I'm an adult. That's a lot more embarrassing. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I know my parents had plenty of those embarrassing baby photos, right? Oof, loving my mom's stories will forever give me mixed emotion. Moms have the most embarrassing stories. What's the most embarrassing story your mom or dad used to tell about you? Or guardian? Like, what would they say? Because I feel like there are some good ones. Anyway, before we forget, I was laughing because I came across a Halloween one from when I was 8, the year I was a zombie, remember? He shook his head, grinning wearily while holding the phone out to you. Wait, he was a zombie and we didn't get to see this? I never even liked zombies. All I wanted was to show off my new scar, and it needed to be something scary. I couldn't be a normal person who had a scar according to my 8-year-old mind. I don't even want... I don't want to even get into the embarrassing shit my parents did. I mean, Darmo. Truth or dare, Darmo. Truth or dare. I don't know. I haven't seen my mother in almost a decade. That's valid terrible. So no embarrassing stories, I guess? I feel like my most embarrassing stories would probably come from my brother or sister, though. Because they like to hold things over my head. Maybe if I'm drunk at 3 a.m. Alright, new goal. Get Darmo drunk at 3 a.m. for... Fuck a duck? Fuck a fuck? Fuck a fuck. Oh, I didn't read the comment above. Probably how I kept saying fuck a fuck in a restaurant after the church crowd came in. That's my favorite embarrassing story. That's hilarious, Tommy. Well, spell check keeps changing my statement. Was it fuck a duck? I feel like that's really funny. Yeah, fuck a duck. That's so funny. I was a little dork.
Right?
I have to think about mine. I don't actually know what my most embarrassing would be. I'm gonna go now. Talking about parents is very triggering for me. I'm sorry, terrible. We can stop. But thank you for being here, and I'm sorry that that came up and was triggering. Have a great rest of your night. Dad really wanted to be useful as usual. He came up with the idea of being an undead person. It was pretty good, huh? Man, I'm so jealous of that look. It was good, but my costume that year was better. Liz, I used to come up with the best Halloween costumes. At least I thought they were good. Vampire in pajamas. Not my best one. I remember you getting lots of candy when the adults realized the scar was real. It was hard seeing your arm like that. I don't really remember. I think for 1 minute I hear, let's get Darmo drunk at 3 a.m. for fuck a duck. Separate statements, Zazzy. Separate statements. I remember you getting lots of extra candy when adults realized the scar was real. I must have been your greatest Halloween haul ever. Cove chuckled at your reply. I can't believe how much larger my scar used to be. He looked down at his arm, a soft smile on his face, and traced what remained of the jagged line with his fingers, just as you'd seen him do countless times before. His voice was playful when he spoke again. Look at how tiny it is now. How am I going to pretend to be tough without a big scar? Cove, you're like the least tough person there is. Cove never fooled anyone. Cove, you've never fooled anyone. You relieved that he accepted and even liked his car. It's a definite blow to your street cred. Embarrassing stories from my past caused by me being drunk at 3 a.m. would be weird to have Zazzy trying to get me drunk at 9 a.m. though. Yeah, time zones are weird, huh? I feel like we should say, Cove, you've never fooled anyone. I know. Cove smiled bashfully, pleased with his joke, and ducked his head to look away from you. His fingers are still tracing the scarred patch of skin. I really do like having this, even if it's kind of little these days. His voice was shy, like he was letting you in on a big secret. Cove turned back to face you fully, finally letting go of his scar. He was happy. That mark was a part of him, and clearly held meaning for a Cove. Reaching over, you laid a reassuring hand on his arm, where the scar was. Could I touch your scar? Why do we have to ask you like that? Could I touch your skirt? You smiled back at him. You cupped his arm with your fingers carefully as your thumb ran down the outline of his scar, along with the rougher tissue of the scar. You could also feel the goosebumps in his arm. He never did explain really how he got it. I know it was like an accident from skiing or something. Like, not skiing, what's it called? Water skiing? But he's never like fully explained how he got it. But yes, 3 a.m. drunk Darmo stories must be shared eventually, Darmo. I look forward to them. Cove let out a choked breath, a dizzied smile playing out on his face. It was evident that he liked the feeling. Excuse me? We can what? You lifted his arm up to kiss his scar. You held his gaze. This is... What are we doing? Cove? Cove. Look. Cove. Cove. Well, as long as I can get Zazzy's family worried about him for yelling shots bright and early in the morning. That's a plan. Well then, right, Draco? That's forward. It's so forward. I could never. What are we doing? I'm just gonna hold his gaze like a creeper. Cove couldn't stay still and reached for you with his free hand, his fingers brushing against your cheek. Cove, are we about to kiss right now? He leaned forward, his eyes gleamed. Oh, we're about to kiss! Can I kiss you? Oh, he's so great. He asked for consent. What if we said no? Would he be embarrassed? I don't want to say no to Cove. Ooh, no. Please do. You shook your head. You nodded. You want to say no, Darmo? You want to see what happens? Or are you being facetious? Are we saying no? You're the only one with an opinion. Kiss him! Wow, apparently you're not allowed to say that because it's sexual. I would never kiss block you. Kiss block me for my boo. Alright, let's do it. Now I get to be uncomfy as we kiss Cove and I have to read it out loud. Y'all are welcome for this. His cheeks burned red as he closed the gap between you, his mouth gently meeting yours. Kiss him, kiss him, we kiss him, we kiss him. You held onto his arms like a lifeline as he kissed him back. Wait, what are words? Briefly worried that you might drown in the depths of your feelings. Then you opened your eyes, meeting Cove's, and he knew that his feelings were mutual. He laid his forehead to rest against yours. Oh my god, forehead touches. Can we just talk about how like cute forehead touches are? Forehead touches are like the most adorable, like, I don't know if that makes sense, but I just, yeah, I love forehead boobs. They're so cute. Forehead touches are so good. They are so good. And there's just something so adorable and like intimate about a forehead touch. And even if it's between like a parent and a child or grandma, like the Moana grandma scene, or like Moana and Tafiti where they like forehead touch. It's just so sweet. Like I love forehead touches. They're special and intimate without being sexual or horny. Exactly, Killer. Exactly. Oh my goodness! Hi, Honeydew Senpai! Hi, Raiders! Welcome in! Thank you so much for the raid, Honeydew Senpai. I super appreciate you. All right. Okay. All right. Back to making out with Cove, I guess. You felt his hot breath tickling your face. Also, I feel like minorly uncomfortable reading out the romantic stuff out loud because I'm me, but I'm interested, but I've got to lurk for a second to get my din-din. Go take care of yourself. After streaming, it's so important to go take care of yourself. Thank you so much for lurking. I appreciate you. And go eat some amazing din-dins. Gotta look for a minute. My guy decided he wanted to make steaks for dinner. Thank you for that look, Satami. I hope you enjoy that heavy metal music and your amazing dinner. And thank you for the follow, Real TBN Vulture. I definitely am still saying your name wrong, and I apologize. How? A reminder, everyone, have you eaten today? Have you drank your water? And are you taking your meds? Make sure you're taking care of yourself. And thank you for the follow, Kento Killam. Hell yeah, metal. Of course you would come in with that, Adam. Hi, how are you? Yeah, metal. So Tommy, you should tell Adam what it is. Hey, it's a potato. Me, I'm a potato. Love the fish tank too. That's goals, right? Cove. So Cove let us name one of his fish, and I think we named it Gloop or something. And I'm obsessed with his fish tank now. Cove is just the best. Oh my god, heads touching. So fucking romantic. Your hand on his arm. You were entwined with Cove. It felt so right. Okay, this game is too much for my heart. Vulture is fine. Thank you, Vulture. We'll go with Vulture then. I appreciate that. I always like try to shorten people's names, but then I never know. Like Terrible Gamer IRL, who was here earlier, I always feel bad calling them terrible because I'm like, can I do that? But then Gamer just seems like too many people have that in their name. I don't know. So I like to give people nice nicknames that they have. So Vulture's good. I appreciate that. Okay. Time couldn't register in that moment. It could have been seconds or minutes, but eventually you straightened up, lifting your hand from his scar. That seemed to break the spell. Though he stayed close to you, Cove sat up and came to his senses. Your eyes drifted back to the scar on Cove's arm. The scar had been there as long as you'd known Cove, though when you first met him, it had been concealed by that neon pink cast.
So?
Want to hear how I managed to get the... Yeah, oh my god, we're finally learning! Oh my god, we have Cove lore. So, forever ago, when Cove was a little kid, he had like this pink cast on his arm. And we've never learned why. Are they finally giving us the Cove lore? I think that's what's happening, and I'm so excited. Want to hear how I managed to go jet skiing when... I forgot to do his voice. When I was 8. You were initially stunned that he'd guessed what you were thinking, though given the topic of conversation and the direction of your gaze, it was a natural conclusion. Not bothered by your reaction, Cove continued with a shrug. Thank you for the lurk, Vulture. I super appreciate it. I don't mind telling you, it's nothing special. He rubbed the back of his neck, grinning sheepishly. Mostly, it's just really dumb. You nodded that that was something you'd like to hear more about, especially knowing that no lasting harm had come of it. Cove stared into the distance, lips parted as he readied the story in his mind. So, me, my dad, and mom were at a party. I don't know if it was casual get-together or specific celebration. I hope it wasn't for something meaningful, considering how it ended. He winced, then managed a bashful smile. Anyway, my mom and dad were off doing stuff, talking to people, I guess. I was left with other non-adults. Most of them were older than I was. Maybe all of them were? His brow furrowed as he tried to recall dusty memories. Then he shrugged again and continued. Thanks for all the hugs, Serenity. The older kids were taking turns on the jet skis. They weren't enough for everyone to ride at once, so in between turns, they were hanging out on the shore. I was meant to sit there with them and watch. Remember when you first met Cove? I'm gonna cough. You ever just choke on air? 'Cause me. He hadn't been satisfied with that arrangement. He confirmed that suspicion. I was pretty unhappy. It wasn't part for me. Not when all I could do was look at other people having fun when I couldn't. The teens must have realized that, though. I never hid when I was pouting as a kid. Only when you were a kid? Cove bristled with embarrassment. It looked pretty sulky to you. I do fail at breathing at times, right? Right? I do, like, sometimes I'll drink water and then I'll just, like, choke on water, and then sometimes I breathe air and I choke on air, and it's just a time. Come on, let me finish the story. Alright. Cove sighed. Sorry, y'all. I am part of the legal observer group in my area, and we're just making sure that protesters don't need support right now, so I apologize if I have to go off stream. I think we're good, but if I'm checking my phone, that is why. Okay. Cove sighed, letting go of interruptions and picking up where he left off.
Well,
basically, someone offered to let me ride. I was way too small to drive it myself, but this older kid, they must have been at least 16, said I could sit in the front of them while they controlled the jet ski. I knew I wasn't supposed to do anything like that. Still, I figured my parents were doing whatever they wanted, so why couldn't I? I nodded at the person, and I remembered the other teens helping me onto the jet ski, along with the one driving who we sped off into the water. Cove smiled wildly and wistfully. It was amazing. At first. My hair was flying everywhere as we zoomed away from the shore. I loved being out on the water like that. Too bad it turned out steering a jet ski with an 8-year-old sat on your lap was harder than a bunch of kids figured it would be. The team tried their best, but they couldn't keep control for long. We got spun around and went right into the sand. Oop, that didn't quite work. What was supposed to happen? What'd you do? What happened? You sucked in a deep breath. The other person wasn't hurt, thankfully. They held onto the bars and stayed in their seat. I didn't. I was thrown at full speed into a rocky part of the shore near the dock. I must have tried to brace for the impact or catch myself because my arm is what I mostly landed on. We have Cove lore! He looked down at the limb in question. You could see him visually the long-healed injury. The hug command said Darmo was hugging Darmo. Darmo is hugging Darmo. Serenity gets to hug no one. Wait, I want to try. Let me see if this works. Zazzy's giving love to Zazzy. Zazzy, love yourself. Someone has to hug me. I just got an alert, but I don't know what happened. I think it was a host. Thank you so much for whoever just hosted. I missed it, but I appreciate it. I was pretty torn. He's talking about his arm being injured. And y'all are... It was pretty torn up after that. It's hazy for me. I've gotten to take it to the hospital. I didn't feel a lot of pain when it first happened. I just played a song. That's true. I was the one who insinuated. Technically, you should be sending me to jail. And talked about Birdie's typo. Yeah. My typo was so funny. All I remember thinking about was how I was covered in sand and the grains were uncomfortable. The sand was uncomfortable? Cove chuckled. I know, right? I did start feeling my arm later. It definitely hurt eventually. Kicks ass into timeout. Thank you, Serenity. The doctors said my arm was broken along with being torn open. That's how it ended up getting my pink cast. He smiled nostalgically. That color, it seemed just nice and happy at the time. It brightened the mood, so I picked it up. I could have just told you and laughed at it. That's true. You could have not told me, and that would have been worse, so thank you for telling me. The smile faded. He finished the story with a sigh, his eyes downcast. I feel bad I did any of that. I hope whoever that teen was, they weren't traumatized by seeing a little kid go flying into the ground. They were just trying to do a nice thing. Oh my god. Cove threw his arm out to the side dramatically. I wish I knew who they were so I could give them a call and say I'm still in one piece. But yeah, that's the full story. I'm glad you're okay in the long run. I'm really sorry that happened. You laughed at what a terrible idea it had been. How could you be so reckless? You didn't know how to react. That's the important thing. Cove sighed again, the regret written plainly on his face. It was a failure, that's just the truth. He smiled flatly. But to my credit, I think I've grown a lot since then. Wait. Cove's eyes went completely wide, suddenly reinvigorated. He seized his phone and tapped away at the screen. What's up? I knew it! You weren't sure what he'd heard but he set his phone down and turned his face directly to you. His face was resolute, though the glow of the screen was no longer reflected in his eyes. They seemed to sparkle even brighter than before. I had the hiccups. Devin, we're adults. We can decide things for ourselves now. Okay. No, why am I the worst? I'm here. Hi, Buggy! Welcome in, friend! Did you fall asleep, Buggy? I have a feeling you fell asleep. Did you fall asleep? You missed my typo. Zazzy saved me from a typo again. Were you napping or were you also, Buggy, do you like the green hair? I match Cove and his family. Anyways. The age of requirement to run a jet ski in California is 18. We could totally do it. Oh no, we're about to go jet skiing with the Cove, are we? use our adult powers for a jet skiing adventure. You want to break another bone? There are more exciting things you can do as an adult. Okay. I want to go on an adventure. Cove beamed, pumping the air with both fists. Definitely the action of someone mature enough to run a vehicle. All right. Within a moment, Cove had recovered. Wow, Birdie's so It's funny too, because of my demi ass. Laptop hours for what? Excuse you? I was thinking of just makeout sessions. What are you thinking of, Darmo? That could have been gambling. Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Within a moment, Cove had recovered and returned to his serious expression from before. Oh, be careful, and I really want you to be there when I try again, please? His voice was soft and earnest. You could tell how much the request meant to him. You also knew him enough to know that he wasn't going to give up on this idea. Letting him go on his own wasn't an option. Of course, I'll be there. I wouldn't miss it. I actually love jet skiing. I'm interested in trying jet skiing. I'll keep an eye on you from the shore. Let's do it. I want to go with him. Cove poked up at once, a grin stretched wide across his face. He was practically bouncing in place. Let's go! Oh my god, we're going on a jet skiing adventure. Wait, this is so cool. You got up and worked as a team to gather everything needed for the trip. Cove's other Arctic hobbies came in handy, and he was quickly kitted out with everything he needed other than the jet skis themselves. You needed to run back home briefly, having dressed and prepared for a day that didn't involve jet skiing, but soon enough you were both ready and jumping into Cove's car. As you got in, you learned that Cove had used the brief time apart to locate a rental store on his phone. Jackie's going to try and get you to sit on his lap while he drives the jet ski. No, that's T-Phase job. You caught his eyes as you clicked your seatbelts into place. Excited, you held out a hand. Cove slapped it in a high five before setting off. You and Cove soon arrived. The ocean was perfectly inviting today. The deep blue of the water glittered under the clear sky, while the tide rolled in and out at its leisure. Oh my god! That wetsuit! I'm so excited for this. You were just as pumped as he was. His excitement was adorable. Obviously, his excitement is adorable. Wait, we're going with that. Seeing how pleased you were, Cove grinned at you.
Hey.
Oh, hey. Want to say hi to my dad while we're here? I've already texted my mom about the plan. He's working right now. You remembered how close his shop was. It wouldn't take long, even by walking. Yeah, let's brighten his day with our cheery faces. Mr. Holden was a great guy, so you were happy to check in on him. Birdie's imagination is going wild, even though the wetsuit leaves little to the imagination. Darmo! Is this the new dick? Yes, this is the new dick. Sorry, it might be. Oh, I realized that you don't know what we meant by that. Yeah, it's a new TLC. You missed where I misspelled it. Sorry, it might be kind of awkward when he hears why we're here, but it should be alright. I mean, my parents forgave me us a long time ago for that amazing stunt. No, I read it that way on purpose. It was a joke, Zazzy. Gosh, I wasn't misreading. Why is everyone sending me to jail? Stop it. Sure, a joke. Sure, your face is a joke. I don't want to be scared off jet skiing for my whole life just because of it. You wondered which of you Cove was attempting to reassure. It was only a short walk back down to the dock to Mr. Holden's scuba shop. Cove breezed in as familiar with the store as he was with his own home. What did I do? Wow. Place was quiet, empty aside from a couple of customers quietly browsing and Cove's dad behind the counter. Mr. Holden looked up, his friendly expression spreading into a grin when he saw he had just entered. I love you, Buggy. I also love Cove. And yeah.
Hey.
Mr. Holden aged like fine wine too. Hi, Devin. Hey, sport. What? I've never figured out his voice. What brings you all the way out here? He cast an eye at the way the two of you were dressed. Judging by how you're decked out, I'm guessing scuba diving? There's plenty here for that. What can I help you with? Cove chuckled, amused by how quickly his dad seized on a favorite topic. Maybe it was how his dad always fell over himself, trying to be useful. Hi, Dad. We're not doing that this time. We're sort of decided to go run a couple of jet skis. The phrase jet skis had set Mr. Holden's mouth in a taut line immediately. Thanks for doing the Apex Challenge, Buggy. Jet skis. He echoed the words as his eyes instinctively darted to the scar on Cove's arm. That's when... Mr. Holden started to speak several times, each attempt quickly abandoned. Cove smiled encouragingly, trying not to add to his father's worries.
Don't worry about it.
I promise we'll be careful, and Devin will be there too. We always look out for each other. You know it. We always look out for each other. Mr. Holden pinched his face back into an unconvincing smile.
Right.
All right, you're a whole lot bigger than... What is his voice? You're a whole lot bigger now than you were back then. Heck, you can drive a car and everything. I'm sure you and Devin will have plenty of fun. I want to play with you on Apex, Birdie. I know, and I love you. I love you all, and I want to play with you too, because I love playing games with you. But I really hate shooters. Like, so much. And the reason I made this challenge was because I respect you all, and I want to play with you all, so I was like, I'll give them the opportunity to be able to play together. But I hate shooters, so it's gotta be a challenge. You can knife hug me on DBD. Knife hug you? You want me to stab you on DVD? What? The worry still echoed. My ears. My poor baby ears. Rebecca! Why? The worry still echoed out into his voice, barely concealed by the positive words, but Cove was buoyed by his father's support. Yeah, we're all settled. We only stopped by to say hi and let you know since we're over here. My poor baby ears. Why? Why'd you quote me? Mr. Holden beamed, obviously moved by his son's simple consideration. Wow, you're so thoughtful. Thanks for taking the time. Dad, you don't need to... Oh god, I'm so bad with the voices today. You need to thank me for that. What the fuck quote is that? When did I say that? What the fuck? When did I say that? What the fuck did I say that for? What was the context of that? Jesus Christ. Quotes. Well, the Holden simply laughed at his son's question. I don't know, Zazie. I'm gonna have to go rewatch that VOD. It'd be great if you could keep me in the loop while you're out there, too. Just text me to know if it's going well or anything. No contest, just quotes. That's a dangerous game. I will. His dad smiled more easily. Why are there suddenly so many DVD quotes? Great. Cove rubbed at his arm, causing Mr. Holden's eyes to momentarily twitch back to the childhood injury.
Bye.
We're gonna head out. See you later. Take care. Don't work too hard. Mr. Holden waved you off as you left the store. The pair of you headed back to the docks, walking side by side. After your feet hit the boards, Cove's pace fell. Glancing over, you saw him looking down out at the water. That wouldn't have been unusual if his expression hadn't been so somber. You go take a nap, you old man? What? He wasn't geared up with anticipation or even nervousness, but with an uncharacteristic lethargy. Something was weighing heavy on his mind. Cove? Huh? He blinked, startling by you interrupting his ruminations.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. He sighed, though you torn his attention from the ocean. It gradually drifted back to the water. You cleared your throat, unwilling to lose him again. Sorry again. He put his hand on his face, rubbing his eyes wearily. Here I go, thinking everything's resolved with what's happened, and we can have fun, but I can't just enjoy anything. I had to find something else to get stuck in my head. You're having second thoughts about jet skiing?
No.
No, that's not it. The ends of his lips were drawn into the beginning of a frown, like gray clouds clustering to a single and coming storm. I figured my dad would be a little worried about me doing it, but what he was saying, it wasn't what I expected. He's so sad. He was more than nervous. I think he feels bad, and now I feel bad. But it isn't as if I'm the only one who ever does something stupid or gets hurt. It got me thinking about that whole time. That's when I realized I wasn't long after that accident that my parents separated.
I love you.
Buggy! Thank you so much for giving that tier 1 sub to Kimmy Coco. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, friend. What are you doing? Oof, right? I don't know what to say to that. We're just gonna stay quiet. Let him talk it out. As a kid, I didn't think about the consequences of my actions, you know? Or how what I did impacted other people. Like, why should anyone care? I'm doing the one thing, doing it, not them. I hope you enjoyed that new emotes you get to use, Kimi Coco, and the ad-free viewing and all the other amazing things that come with being a sub. You also get new commands that you can do. I think they're in the chat. Some of them are sub only. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head. But I hope you enjoy all the benefits. And thank you, Buggy, for again gifting that tier 1 sub. I super appreciate you. Yay! But I was 8 and mostly just mad that nothing felt like it was in my control. You could tell that he was building up to something, so you nodded for him to continue. I was pretty difficult to deal with because of that attitude, but looking back, I think that's what saved me from something a lot of kids go through, blaming themselves for their parents' divorce. It never crossed my mind that anything I did made a difference on my mom and dad's relationship. They would do what they did no matter what. Now, though, I guess it's kind of hard to ignore that thought, huh? Oh my god! Don't blame yourself now! How are you doing tonight, Kimi Coco? How's it going? Their situation was already so hard, and I wasn't a good kid, so... He left his words adrift as he looked down, the conclusion unfinished. It was silent between you. But only for a second. Cove pulled himself up to his full height, his chin held aloft. Whatever he decided, he was resolute. Well, I'm good. Liking while I make dinner. Ooh, what are you making for dinner? I hope it's super yummy and tasty. Thank you for the lurks. Stick me like a pig. Oh, because I am the pig. Oh, because I was playing pig. Haha. But only for a second. The more DBD quotes you put out, Bugs, the more I want to play DBD. I have a serious addiction. Cole pulled himself up to his full height, his chin held aloft. Whatever he decided, he was resolute. I'm going back. I've got to talk to my dad. I'm not going to let things be like before, where I just felt crappy and refused to even tell him what's going on. That doesn't work for either of us. Yes, Cove, I stand his communication skills. You can go ahead if you want. I don't mind. I really want to do this, and I'm sure it'll be okay. I love DB. I want to play with you again, Birdie. I know, me too, Serenity. I want to play so bad. I literally always want to play DBD. It's a problem. I'm so addicted. Oh, what do we say? All right, see you later. You nodded. You shook your head. I want to stay with you. There's no way you're going off on your own. Do we let Cove just go off with his dad? Do we go with him? What do we do? I don't know what the right move here, folks. Like, I want to be supportive of him, so I don't know if, like, we go... I don't know what we do. What the right call is. I'm almost rank 6. Alright, this is making me want to play DBD. Stop! Otherwise, I'm about to switch the stream to DBD. We're gonna go from wholesome cuteness to some murdering. I'm almost at rank 10. Love you, Birdie. So you want to stay with him? Okay. I want to stay with you. We always look out for each other, remember? Cove smiled gently, having wanted that deep down. Zazie knew what Cove wanted. Thanks. Let's go. You and Cove retook your stuff down the dock and once more headed back into Mr. Holden's scuba shop. The customers you'd spotted in there before were now leaving the store, new bags clutched in their hands. You hoped that this would mean Cove could have his conversation without a public audience. This time, Cove strode inside the shop with purpose. Mr. Holden, still at the counter, glanced up to greet whoever had come inside. He grinned as you approached.
How's it going?
Hello again. Forget something? Sort of. Cove had reached the counter now. You needed to rush just to keep up with him as he crossed the floor. Mr. Holden raised an eyebrow, taking in Cove's shift in attitude, and chose his next words with care. Is everything all right? Cove swallowed, not answering initially. Talking openly with his dad was still somewhat new for the son. You knew that he was struggling for the right way to begin. I wanted to ask what happened. Mr. Holden winced as if the words had struck him physically. The accident? No, the divorce. The pained expression fell from Mr. Holden's face. Wide-eyed, his jaw slacked. He gaped at Cove.
Huh?
Why? Cove glanced over his shoulder at you. His eyes met you. As your eyes met... Wow, I can't read. You saw him draw his confidence by having you by his side. He turned back to his father. I want to know the truth. His tone was grave. Did me getting into the accident hurt your marriage? If I hadn't done it, would you and Mom have gotten along better? No! Hell no! Yes, Mr. Holden! Mr. Holden squashed the suggestion to the gravity you rarely heard in his voice. You were 8 years old. You're not responsible in any way. Kira and I should have protected you. I could understand why you're feeling that what happened was so horrible. How could it not have impacted? It did. It was a reflection as us as parents. Oh my god, reflection! We're in reflections, and this was a reflection! Oh my god. The relationship between just your mom and me was separate and already unsalvageable. Cove turned away, his brows still furrowed as he looked at the floor.
Well...
Maybe I'm being anxious and it's taken over, but it wasn't just then. I always caused problems. He plowed on, unwilling to give up without explaining his worries. What if I'd been easier to raise? Or if you had me later on? Maybe even if you didn't have me at all. It might have been better for the two of you. No, baby Cove! If I didn't have you, then what good would be in my life? Why is this game the sweetest, wholesomest game in the entire world? Miss Holden didn't let the words hang unchallenged in the air for even a second. He hurried over to Cove, taking his son's arm in his hands. Cove, listen. There's only one person to blame for things not working, and that's me. Cove opened his mouth to speak, but Mr. Holden forced it on, determined to erase any question in Cove's mind. I'm not saying this is dishonestly push accountability off from someone else or to throw a pity party for myself. You want to know the truth, so that's what I'm giving you. Your father is the reason our family couldn't stay together. You think you caused trouble? You should have seen me at your age. You're such a good... Oops. I clicked the wrong thing. I could hardly believe how good you are. Mr. Holden's eyes were misty as he squeezed his son's arms. There's nothing, absolutely nothing you need to blame yourself for. I'm sorry, Cove. To you and to Kira. Mom? Yeah, your mom. His pained face eased slightly into a bittersweet smile. Did you cheat on... Kira, she was so smart and driven and completely bursting with life. It was as if she could do anything. You know there wasn't a single solitary person who didn't want even a piece of her attention, just to catch her eye for a moment. But for some crazy reason, she had a soft spot for me, my 17-year-old screwed up self. Why is this so deep? That's when we first met, though it definitely took some time before I managed to ask her out on a date. Mr. Holden shook his head, the smile melting out at his recollection became solemn once more. And then we'd only officially together for about 6 months when she found out we were having a baby. I was so worried, so scared. Oh, they're such young parents. He was 17, damn. But she was so brave. She was my rock. But we both knew the road ahead was going to be rockier. I didn't realize they were that young when they had Cove. No wonder he's a DILF and she's a MILF. Yeah, because they're literally children. They be young. When we got married, I didn't see it as a dream come true. I wasn't about to start living my life in the only way I could imagine doing so. I thought what happened happened, and throwing my cards in with a girl like her was worth the risk. He grimaced, the sentence sour in his mouth, regarding his past perspective. I'd been taking care of myself on my own and getting by. Then all of a sudden, I was going to have a wife and a child.
That's...
So I thought, all right, I'd better step things up and take care of all of us. And that's what I did. Sort of. He rolled his eyes. I made money, kept a roof over our heads, and put food on the table. But I was always busy focused on taking care of things, that I didn't stop to consider what anyone else was thinking or what they actually needed. I made every decision about what I did, and as a result, what happened to the family, by myself, never asking what your mom felt or even wondering if she might have an opinion. Oof. I tell Kira about the great place I'd found and how we'd be moving there in the same breath. Or that I spent all of our savings in taking out a loan to start this business we're standing in. And even more nonsense. Anything I felt I needed to do, I did. Did someone say MILF? She's not here right now. We're getting Mr. Holden's lore on why they got a divorce. Kira couldn't even ask where I'd been all day without me rolling my eyes like she was being a nag. I was making sure we didn't starve. Obviously, right? Couldn't she trust me? He sighed, his head hung low. Mr. Holden. I like that he doesn't have a name, but her name is Kira. Like, she went to school part-time while raising you, really knuckling down, but that didn't matter to me back then. She could have spent her days lying in bed, not dying, and I would have felt the same. I didn't care. I was going to get it all done on my own either way. Wow. It's stupid to admire her more than anyone when there was nothing at stake, yet as soon as responsibilities were involved, I couldn't let myself rely on her. He combed a hand through his hair, searching for an understanding of his own younger self. I'm not even sure why. Maybe I had something to prove. Maybe I'm the one who didn't trust her in the end. Poor Kira. She had to spend every day mentally weighing the pros and cons of putting up with my horrible ideas for the sake of peace, or trying to explain to my block-headed self what I was doing wrong. It must have been so stressful and frustrating, constantly having to let everything go, because I was stubborn and absolutely wouldn't make a fight out of it. He snorted bitterly. I was definitely stuck in my head a lot those days. Our relationship at that point was made of arguments and cool tolerance, but I just still genuinely didn't see the divorce coming. We'd made it through the first few years, and after I never really considered it ending, it was just how life was. In retrospect, it's clear Kira kept thinking on more every year, especially because she managed to finish her journalism degree, and with us being more stable financially, that is. So when the jets keep happening, I don't know. I think we're too busy down the rabbit hole of learning about Cove's family right now. I mean, I'm kind of down for it, though. I was curious. She thought of everything, and she even timed it right when your school ended for the year, so the process would hopefully be all settled before you had to worry about classes again. We were already talking about it before the accident ever happened. I know it took it really hard being a sad sack all around the neighborhood, but even that is unfair of me. When it shook out, I'm the one who got everything. Kara didn't want to leave you, Cove. She never would have. I'm certain she felt like she had no choice but to end the relationship. The business was doing really well by then, so I had an easier time making a living. She was between jobs, and when she did get a new job, it meant that she'd be traveling all the time. That's why she willingly accepted me having full custody. Damn! We're learning all about Cove and his family situation right now. What the fuck? She didn't get to be there with her child for so many moments, and you had to spend half your life growing up without a mother, and it's my fault. Mr. Holden closed his eyes briefly as he took a breath. So that's it. The story of Cliff and Kira's marriage. Not exactly a fairy tale, but I want it to be clear. You saw his grip on Cove's arms tighten. No matter what happened with me and her, I never ever want to miss out on being your dad. Cove's throat bobbed as he swallowed. His eyes glistened, glossy with tears that had yet to fall. He blinked quickly, trying to hold them back. Thank you for telling me. His voice was hoarse, little more than a whisper. Mr. Holden brought a hand up to his face and lightly nudged Cove's chin. You're welcome. You're a grown-up now, right? You deserve the truth. That's the least I can do for you. Cove managed a fragile smile. So, like, we not going jet skiing, Cove, or... Thank you for taking care of me for all of it. Miss Holden brushed the compliment off with a wave of his hand.
No worries.
It was nothing. Look at where we ended up. I've got this whole entire store, a house, friends. You're a very thoughtful son. It's all good for me.
I'm so glad.
His voice was still quiet, and he ducked his head shyly. After saying the words, Mr. Holden patted him on the back. You could see the tears in his Cove's eyes, still shining, threatening to spill over. Miss Holden put an arm around his shoulders, gently steering him towards the door. You should go have fun. Make some nice memories. Cove's gaze flicked her over to you. The watery smile on his face solidified. All right. Good. Now out you go. Mr. Holden nudged the two of you out of the shop. You both walked silently as you made your return to the docks. Cove's face was pensive, clearly still disgusted everything his dad said. I can't talk today. He finally sighed, catching your attention. He hesitantly reached for the bag he had brought and raised it up. Devin, I want to call my mom. Oh my god, Cove, I want to go jet skiing. I mean, call your mom. You're having a moment. I get it, but I'm not going to leave her out of things. And I want to know what she thinks about what happened and all that. He fiddled with the straps of his bags. It still remained closed shut. It's not like I don't trust Dad. It's just Mom's thoughts are important too. That was the loudest heartbeat. I know. I don't know why sound alerts are suddenly so loud. They weren't this loud last time. Is it a stream if your sound isn't crunchy in some aspect? And that's not a bad idea. I bet she'd have some interesting things to add. He seemed relieved that you understood. You knew he didn't want to be a bother with another delay. Thanks. Then I guess there's no time like the present. Time to ask. With that mini pep talk, he finally opened his bag and found his phone. Cove unlocked it quickly and tapped over to his favorite contacts. He called up his mom and put the phone on speaker as it dialed. Kira must have had her phone close because she answered almost immediately. Cove, this is a pleasant surprise. I thought you'd be getting back to me later. Hey, Mom. She paused for a second and then looked at you. Wait, she looked at me? Oh, no, Cove looked at me. I was like, how did you look at me through the phone? You're on speakerphone with Devin, too. Hey, Kira. Oh, hello. I'm popular today. Well, what's going on? Don't keep me in suspense. Are you a pro jet skier already? Cove chuckled and scratched the back of his head. We haven't started yet, actually. There's something I kind of want to ask you about.
Really?
Really? I'm intrigued. Yeah, she's so cute, Serenity. Her voice was bright and excited. Cove moved the phone closer to his face so he could speak softly, aware that the tone of this conversation was about to change. I was talking to Dad earlier. I was about your relationship and why you both divorced. His mom has the bedroom eyes. What do you mean? What does that mean, Draco? I was talking to Dad earlier. It was about your relationship and why you both divorced. Ah. That one syllable had lost all her earlier energy. Cove tightened his grip on his phone. It does make sense that the past would come up today. Yeah, but he tried to brighten. Oh my god. You weren't used to him being the perky one of the two. You could only imagine it felt like a strange role reversal for him. Dad said you were really amazing. He admired you a lot. What a flatterer. She sighed wistfully, and you could hear him some inference. Maybe she had shaken her head, and you couldn't tell for sure. Yeah, like I wasn't already there. I mean, Kira is a MILF, to be fair. I mean, so I'm making sure you are in there. Y'all are ridiculous. Oh, Cliff. He bungled himself through regularly, every day, adulting in social situations in astoundingly charming ways. Yet somehow, at the exact same time, he was an ambitious, slightly shady, under-the-table type of man when it came to making his living in the world. So essentially, your father was an absolute heartthrob for someone such as myself. Cove and Kira laughed delicately. The tension was broken into something lighter, more familiar between the two. It's cool. You both have nice things to say about each other. I agree, baby. She took a moment before continuing carefully. Do you have questions about what happened? I'm not sure. Cove squinted at the phone, his hand as he tried to think, his free hand brushing through his hair. I just kind of wanted to know how you describe what it was like. Could I tell you what Dad said about it?
All right.
I don't think Cliff would mind. Whatever he told you is probably what he'd say to me. All right, go for it. After taking a breath, Cove recapped Cliff's experience, doing his best to follow his dad's story. He went into a surprising amount of detail, and not a single thing was missed. Kara listened in an absolute silence, letting her son speak without interruption. When Cove finished, she took another deep inhale of air. So, what do you think? Kara sighed softly. You heard a cackling noise like she was drumming her fingernails on the back of her phone or on the countertop. That definitely sounds like Clifton. Time going by fast, felt like you just started the battle on Stream Raiders. It's not exactly wrong, but he doesn't have a total picture. He puts the emphasis on the wrong places, I think.
Huh?
What do you mean? For starters, Cliff surprisingly downplayed himself more than he had to. He did? Cove's eyebrows raised and his face continued to inch closer to the screen. Well, since your dad was so praising of me, it's only fair to return the favor. When Cliff said he was already taking care of himself when he met me, he means he was on his own. Cliff's own parents weren't and still aren't friendly people. They always had a combative relationship, though him getting into drinking and gambling as a teenager certainly didn't help. He drank and gambled! You start the next battle, Birdie? I did, I started it. It should be up in the chat a little bit. You see it? I did starts. He knew they'd kick him out at 18, so he'd saved them the trouble and left home at 17. He always found a way to make it work, even without support. I met him a few months after that. We hit it off right away. He was exactly what I wanted back then. We dated, and then about a half a year later, bam, you were on the way, Cove. Cliff is perfectly fitting name, right? For the dad. She laughed fondly as Cove clung to every word. I was really optimistic about it all. I couldn't wait to be a mother, and I was more than happy that Cliff was the father who'd be along for the ride. We got married quick before you were born. Cliff's recollection of our wedded dynamic is pretty spot on. He was extremely stubborn and just immature. Highly immature. Her voice raised slightly, and you got the feeling she was thinking back to her memories living with him. She left the specifics unspoken. But it's not like I was grown up either. Everyone except maybe Cliff would see our relationship was no good, or at least not good enough yet to commit to. I knew, but I still didn't want to give it up. I wanted to keep the family together. I thought that if we divorced or were never together, then we'd ruin your life, Cove. Obviously, that wasn't true. It's just didn't have enough experience at the time to realize there wasn't only one option for us. Maybe things would have been easier on you if we had split when we were still a baby, but it took me years to start figuring it out. Cove nodded, and even his mom couldn't see it, thinking hard about something. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I might have to switch games. I'm starting to lose my ability to read. I am a little bit delirious. So after we finish this chapter, I might switch over to Dragon Age if y'all are okay with it. Because words are becoming one singular word. I literally am seeing a single word. Sanpeligrino sucks ass. What? You know what game doesn't need reading sentences? Your mom. He was likely remembering his own experiences back then. We were married but never seriously loved each other. We hardly knew each other. I don't mind that Cliff never viewed me as some kind of dream come true. I only just appreciated that you're the only one who thinks she looks like Shrek, Buggy. She's beautiful. Stop it. That he tried giving me a hastily made life plan a shot. I was the one who proposed after all, got down on one knee and everything. She proposed? Kira proposed? What a bamf. She huffed slightly, something between a chuckle and a sigh. It's very funny and a little sad that Cliff still doesn't know why things changed between us. She knows what she wants, right, Draco? It's obvious to me that I'd guess he does know deep down. He just never consciously made the connection.
Yeah, everything is okay.
Everything is okay.
It's all right.
I'm not even mad he didn't stay the same towards me. Love makes everything different. But you said... I know what I said. She interrupted before Cove could even finish his blurted out interjection. I don't mean Cliff and I. We were just kids in a relationship that only ever worked when it was at its easiest. And then you were born, little Cove James Holden. I loved you immediately, and so did your father. Cove was stunned. His eyes started watering as his mouth clamped shut. The inclination we had towards each other paled in the face of that. Our love to you was the real deal. Cliff was the proudest papa. Then in true Cove fashion, tears began to fall. He stayed silent, but you were pretty sure Kira knew the effect her words had on her son. No matter how much time passed, Cliff never got over how amazing it was that such a precious little boy was his. I should have taken pictures of how he puffed up whenever someone referred to you as his son. She sounded much cheerier now. A slight smile crept onto Cove's face, despite his tears. Then again, he still does that now. It wasn't hard to imagine Mr. Holden lighting up around baby Cove the same way he did with 18-year-old Cove. I remember how when a real argument started brewing, Cliff had a habit of walking away to cool off. He wasn't able to handle it. His son needs to have taken after him in that way. You heard her chuckle and Cove looked down, a blush clear on his cheeks. You could just feel her smirk through the phone. Not about those jet skis, right, Tormo? We're never going jet skiing. It's never happening. She breezed over the next section airily. For our whole relationship, he always ended in fights by skipping out on me. For who knew how long? I don't think even Cliff knew when he'd come back. New DLC actually let you jet ski. The DLC actually for the jet skis is just reflecting on your life stories. I mean, look at Cove's crying face though. Tell me that blush isn't the cutest. That stopped when you were born. Cliff stopped running. He was still gone a lot for work and still had fights, but he wouldn't leave. Instead, he'd go to your room, Cove. If you were asleep, he'd just sulk on the ground by your crib until you woke up. Sometimes he'd place the broom while holding you or sit on the floor. Oh my god, Cliff is such a good dad. And rock you. He'd stay with you until one of us, we were ready to talk again. We didn't have a lot of furniture back then. That's part of the reason why Cliff was always hanging out on the floor. He really came to embrace it. When our relationship got bad enough that we didn't want to share a bed anymore, he always made sure I got to have the mattress. He instead set up a spot in the corner of the nursery just in case you needed anything through the night. He gave up a more private space when you got bigger, but he still always made sure he could be there for you. There's still no denying whether Cliff understands or not. He made his choices without prioritizing me, but it wasn't that he suddenly hated me. To Cliff, I was only a wife on paper. In his mind, I was a cool girl he had dated and genuinely liked, nothing close to being the light of his life. All his blood, sweat, and tears weren't for himself or me or even the family unit. They were all completely and totally for his baby. Oh my god, Cliff! Meanwhile, I was doing the same, though in the opposite way. I did take us being married seriously. I was trying to force us together as a couple so we could be complete family for our child. You felt like a fly on the wall on a very personal conversation. Cove didn't seem to notice when you looked over at him, his face a complicated patchwork of emotion. New DLC, we go jet skiing and let Cove have an emotional conversation with his family. Who needs a jet ski when we can just eavesdrop on other people's family drama? Oh no.
I guess.
Eventually, I woke up and saw what I was doing. I realized it wasn't going to work, not like that. When I was ready for it, I talked to Cliff about separating and starting up the divorce process. He was shocked by it, and unfortunately, it wasn't too long after when we had your accident, Cove. Devin, I don't know how much Cove really told you about it, but when we broke his arm, it terrified all of us. Cove could have died. Even back then, we knew he'd likely have a permanent scar he'd have to live with forever. New DLC, eavesdropping on other family secrets. This is like the time our moms told us that our biological parents were like dead, and Cove chased us down onto the beach. It was like, "Are you okay?" And we were like, "No, we sad." This is like that, but worse, because we're eavesdropping on Cove's secrets. Cove and I really do know everything about each other, I guess. Our parenting hurt our child, and he was the one who'd have to carry the repercussions. You were a bit taken aback to be referred to directly. You still felt a little out of place, and she seemed completely focused on herself. No secrets in this relationship. Yeah, Cove and I are open books to each other. Cove grimaced, and the hand holding his phone shook. Mom. Kira continued as if she'd never paused. It was heartbreaking, and then on top of it all, we had to put through your parents breaking up. Taking that back wasn't an option despite the timing. It felt like everything we had worked so hard for to make you happy was for nothing. I chose to believe we'd fix our lives from there, but to Cliff it seemed hopeless. He failed his son. It was easier for me in some ways. I had my family to lean on. That made it feel less daunting, less impossible. Cliff had only ever really known being on his own, but the happenstance of his birth and then by choice. When he broke up, he knew he was going to have to put back the pieces of what was left alone. I wanted to be there for him, even after everything, but I was the one divorcing him. It was impossible. I never managed to be someone he truly relied on, and I had to remember that wasn't changing. I'm so invested in this. Hi, Sid Moon, how you doing? Isn't this family drama great? I also really want to go jet skiing, though. We were promised some jet skiing. Who knew reflections would get so deep? As bleak as it felt at the time, Cliff still tried not to let any of that show to you. Cove, he did what he could to keep your spirits high about the move. Your new house, the scar, everything. So, that's why... Cove trailed off. He had misunderstood the impact his injury had on his parents. You're reminded of something that made more sense now. Mr. Holden had been so helpful with Cove's old Halloween costume because he didn't want Cove to be saddened by the scar. It was clear Cove was coming to the same realizations. Now, with all that said, if Cliff was completely perfect and wonderful guy, I wouldn't have left him. It was even pretty good I would have stayed. It was hard not to have custody. Sometimes I felt like I was a fun aunt rather than the mom I always wanted to be. I might have overcompensated a little at times because of that. She forced a laugh, but it had an uncomfortable edge to it. You could tell she was trying to blow off a real anxiety of hers. Cove looked ready to say something, but his mom kept talking, kept moving forward. Still, it's not Cliff's fault alone that our relationship didn't work. We are always better as co-parents than spouses. But I knew when separating that it wasn't going to be even. Wow, they are so mature. They are so mature about this entire situation. Like, what? And Cove, the only reason I could stand not being there for you all the time is because I knew that if the situation was reversed and I could have provided a more stable environment, Cliff would have done the same. Your dad would give up his house, his shop, even his right arm if it would guarantee that you were safe and happy. So as painful as it was, I was sure you'd be okay because you were still with someone who loved more than anything else in the world. Cove lowered his head, tears falling to the ground. He tried to speak. It took him a few tries. Thank you for telling me. His voice cracked and Kira made an alarm sound on the other end of the line. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to make you cry.
I get it.
It's okay. He was still crying. Everyone could tell, being physically present or not. I love you, Mom. You've always been my mom. Not my aunt. My mom. I love you too. Her tone was thick with emotion. She was at the edge of a voice break herself. I'm so lucky to be your mom. She started to sniffle openly.
Don't worry about it.
Don't feel bad for me now. That's how it worked out. I promise that none of it was your fault, and it's not as though I'm completely miserable over here. I have an incredible life with a beautiful baby boy of my own who calls whenever he can. At that, Cove's tears only came down heavier. Thank you. Cove sighed affectionately. Kira sighed affectionately, and you could hear the warmth in her voice. I think that's good for now. Maybe we should end the call. Take a moment. Is that really alright? He tightened his grip on his phone. You could see how emotionally exhausted he looked.
Of course.
So we're not jet skiing, are we? We'll be in touch for now. We've only be able to keep thanking me or apologizing.
Hey!
Hey! Cove cried out defensively over the accusation, making his mom snicker. Bye, and goodbye to you, Devin. I'm glad you're there for my baby. Talk to you later. Bye, Mom. I love you. Love you too. Cove hung up. He left his hand, dropped to his side, his phone brushing the fabric of his sweatsuit. His other hand went up to his face. He tried to wipe the tears from his eyes. His face was red, and he struggled to put his phone back in his bag, one-handed. You could tell he was getting worked up. Well, Devin would be like, okay, bye. Devin be like, I was eavesdropping this entire time and I feel uncomfortable. Okay, bye, have a nice life. He finally just used both of his hands and settled his phone back into its normal place. Cove sniffed and then reached out for you. His hand trembled in your grasp and you squeezed back. He needed to feel your support. You want to go see your dad again? He didn't have to tell you what was on his mind for this. Cove nodded his head weakly. Oh my god! You rushed back to the way you came, feet pounding across the boards of the dock to return to the scuba shop for the third time. You reached the sad store, and Cove still wasn't slowing down. He pushed his way through the door at full speed. His hand released yours as he charged in. Mr. Holden had been walking around the middle of the store, checking over things immediately. He turned at the sound.
What's wrong?
Where's the fire? He froze when he got a look at Cove's face. He worriedly opened his mouth, probably to ask what was wrong, but then Cove launched himself at his father. So wholesome. Cove threw his arm around Mr. Holden's neck. He buried his face in his dad's shoulder and started to sob with deep, hitching breaths. Cliff clearly had no idea what was going on, and his hands hovered awkwardly in the air. He looked at you for a brief second, hoping for understanding, before turning his attention on Cove. Aww! Rat Cove, let's go jet ski. No, Cove needs to work it out with his family, alright? We're getting some nice family time, okay? That we're just eavesdropping on. Cove looked secure in his father's embrace, protected and safe. It's okay. I'll be okay. Whatever it is, it's going to be okay. Cove kept crying. He inhaled deeply, his voice choking up when he tried to speak.
I'm so sorry.
You always tried to be there for me when I was growing up, and I was mean to you. I'm sorry. And I was jet skiing that day. But I was completely right. I hadn't expected this to be the issue. You don't have to apologize for that, bud. Kids are allowed to be mad at their parents. It's my job to take care of you. I really didn't do anything special. Okay, go. I've listened to the whole story of your family divorce. I deserve jet skis. Stop crying, let us ski. And the poor jet ski renter made no money that day, was unable to feed their family. I like that we now have lore for the jet ski. Like, they have a whole family that Cove is single-handedly depriving us of money. It's my job to take care of you. I really didn't do anything special. You've always supported me no matter what. You've always loved me. I wish I realized how much you did sooner. Cove squeezed him tighter. Thank you. I love you, Dad. At his son's heartfelt confession, the father became choked up as well. He compressed Cove into a crushing hug. I do love you. I always will. You can count on that. I want to be there for you, too. You want to cry to the jet ski so I won't see the tears. So the saltiness of the ocean can mask your tears on the jet ski. Jet skis are the cure for sadness. Jet skis just hide the sadness. They clung onto one another, absorbed in the moment. Then after a little while longer, they slowly began to loosen their hold. Cove sniffled and moved so he could use his palm. If anything, at least we got to see Cove in a wetsuit, right? Like, the wetsuit is nice at minimum. Cove sniffled. Take me with you, Birdie. Well, I'm not going jet skiing, but if I ever do, I mean, I've never seen a sad person on a jet ski. I mean, it masks the sadness. So sleepy. Nipple. Are those two separate thoughts? You should go to bed, Bugs. It's like, what, almost 3 a.m. for you? His dad shirt was visibly damp where his face had been. Cliff patted the top of Cove's shoulders. He looked at his son with pride. You've grown up so much. Cove started to laugh through his tears and a wavering smile on his lips. You doubted that Cove would have ever thought that crying on his dad's shoulder was a sign of maturity, but it was true. Cove had changed over the years. We could have had the call on the jet ski, then go back to the store afterwards. So inefficient. If you called on the jet ski though, I'm pretty sure your jet ski would have broken. You thought you understood Cove's dad a little better now. I wonder if there's more to understand about our moms. Yeah. I tamed 2 rats on Minecraft and they ran away from me. Yeah, didn't they get eaten by something? Do I need to send you to horny jail, bud? Yeah, it was just kind of random. That was a random phrase, Buggy. You thought back to when you were, da, 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 da. You appreciated everything they had done for you, but maybe you could tell them thank you when you got home, just in case. Pudge and Scrump. That's so cute, Bugs. Cove wiped at his eyes again. I don't know what's going on. You're a good dad. You're a good son. Mr. Holden was plainly touched by the woods and beamed at his beloved child. Cove looked away and shyly traced his scar. Cliff chuckled and released Cove. Potato, 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 potato. Hey! I know you said potato because that was the dog's name in Buggy's game, but also can we say that potato is us in the middle of Cove's family drama? We're just a potato sitting there in potato fashion, being a potato, being like, do I be here? Should I be here? I feel like I should not be here. Cliff chuckled and released Cove to rub the back of his neck. I love you, Serenity. The earlier picnic had bled off and left the confusion. I'm glad we had this talk, but what was it that made you cry in the first place? You weren't too bad off when you left before. Oh. Cove ducked his head further down, getting a very good look at the scruff marks on the floor. I called Mom. I wanted to talk to her about all this. He kicked one of his feet shyly, swinging it back and forth against the ground. Things felt really hard when I was younger, but it wasn't just me going through this stuff, Dad. You never give yourself credit. Cliff smiled gently and gripped Cove's shoulder with reassurance. Oh. Kira's an amazing person, to come to my defense. For the only hard part was seeing you and her unhappy. Everything else, that was nothing. I'm just imagining a small potato with a tiny awkward smile looking out at Cove's conversation. Zazzy, honestly, like, let me reenact how I imagine Devin, our character, is. So, like, they're having their emotional family talk, and this is us. That's what I imagine. I feel like it's canon. Oh my god, so much for the Apex. Y'all want to see me suffer. He wrapped his arm around Cove's neck for another side hug. Cove leaned into the embrace and glanced up at his dad. Your old man is tougher than he looks. Check out how powerful these arms are. And this is 10 years on. I was in my prime in those days. Oh my god, Mr. Holden. Cove laughed. It was a light sound full of fondness. Okay. He quieted down a little, finding a quick movement of seriousness. Thanks again, Dad. I know you don't want me to feel bad, and I'm happy. Because of everything you and Mom did, I have a really nice life. Mr. Holden's countenance became much more serious. He didn't take what was said lightly. Devin is just staring at Cove's butt. Honestly, probably. I bet Cove has a really nice butt as a surfer. Mr. Holden, Cove, you're very welcome. That's so good to hear. Then he let Cove go. This time they both took a step back to their normal proximity. Mr. Holden cleared his throat. He looked at you right in the eyes.
That's a relief.
I also appreciate that you were here for support, Devin. What a loyal partner. Cove looked back down, embarrassed. Oh god. I want to be there for you too, Mr. Holden. Oh no, things are finally noticing my presence. Finally, resolution. Let's go jet skiing. You're both so sweet. What did we say? I don't even know. I'm gonna say you're both so sweet, I guess, maybe. The third one is hilarious. Thanks for finally noticing my presence. No, we're not saying that, Zazzy. That's too sassy. Glad I could be here. Yeah, I'll do that one, Darmo. I think Cliff would take it well. I don't know. I don't know about that, Zazzy. When Cove stopped staring at the floor, he smiled at him. Cliff smiled warmly. He nudged Cove gently as if to say, look how lucky you are. Hey, maybe I ought to give you another 20 bucks for all this. You've put up with a lot of years, many years. I never took your 20 to begin with. Cove's cheeks popped out up into a pout.
No.
I could use some money. You laughed. You shook your head. Please don't. I could use some money. You were mostly joking. That being said, you wouldn't mind a $20 bill. Not you too.
Sure.
Okay. I'll leave making jokes about that to Cove. Cove smiled, satisfied at that. Alright. Cove exhaled slowly, his posture relaxing. We better get going. You still have work done, and I think Devin has been patient enough. Cliff grinned and waved the two of you off. Do you think we're actually gonna get to go jet skiing? Sure thing. I'm happy you both stopped in, but you gotta go have some fun. Be careful out there. I don't need to go jet skiing anymore. Devin, if you still want to go, I don't mind watching. Are you kidding? All that and we don't even get to go jet skiing! Oh my god. I'll still be here if you need anything, right? Yeah, okay. Vindication. I almost forgot why I came in the first place. You chose to skate. Let's get a move on already. Woo! Take care of yourself. I guess Cove waved his dad as he started walking out. You followed. When you turned back to Mr. Holden before you went out the door, he was waving. Bye, kids. You'll do great. Once again, as had become today's habit, you and Cove walked down the dock side by side, but this time Cove had a bounce back in his step. His smile was soft but radiant. Thank you for the alert, Kenny. Hope you're doing well. We've been waiting just for the past 4.5 hours. Let's fucking go. I'm back. Long time no see. Yes, I took this weekend off. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm about for a power nap after my early morning shift. I hope you have a great nap. Hope your game goes well for our life. Thank you, Kenny. It's pretty fun right now. Very, very chill. It's a chill game. Once again, as had become today's habit, you and Cove walked down the dock side by side. But this time, Cove had a bounce. Oh, I already read this. Thanks for staying and sorry for how long it took. You're welcome. You do this. Those things happen. I was curious anyway. I was curious anyway. I wanted to spy on your family. It's fine. I had a feeling it'd be a bigger deal than it started as. Promise we won't have any more interruptions? Oh, that's just rude. You did the same for me. No more interruptions, Darmo. You had his back and he had yours. I was just how things went between the two of you. Cove grinned at you, all grateful positivity and sunshine. The water lapped at the dock beneath your feet. Cove looked down when a particularly strong wave crashed against it. It's weird. I think about my parents' relationship. There's all this stuff that I don't know because I wasn't there, or because I was just a kid, or because I didn't even exist yet. It feels really complicated. Relationships are complicated, man. You agreed with him. Connections to other people were as varied as there were waves in the ocean. Cove nodded without elaboration. He looked out into the ocean wistfully for a moment before he shook it off.
It's nice.
I'm happy they were married even if they didn't stay together in the end. I'm happy that you're all peppy again. Peppy? That's right. If you say so. You asked about what he thought about the marriage for himself. Oh my god! Should we ask him if he wants to get married? You tried to repose so someone was ahead. Yes, Jackie, find out if... Oh, here's Kitty! Now we can see me match my kitty. See? We both kitties. Wait, hold on. We need a better view of this. He's gonna be so mad at me. Hold on. I'm my cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, and I match my mom. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I match my mom. We're both kitties now. Just a couple of cool cats hanging out together in the cat club. Even though I have a bear frame. Marriage is what brings us together today. Love, too loved. If we talk about marriage, we won't have time for the jet skis. I don't think we're going jet skiing. I'm pretty sure Cove just said he didn't want to go. The coolest cats. I don't know about that one, but... Are you scared of it? What? Marriage. You know, because of your parents' history? Cove shook his head shyly. He didn't hesitate for a second. No, surprisingly, I don't have any issues about the idea of getting married someday. You looked at him, not bothering to hide your intrigue. He chuckled self-consciously at the reaction he got.
I mean,
Don't get me wrong. Trying to actually propose would be terrifying. I'm sure planning a whole wedding would be so hard, especially for me, but just the thought of having someone I loved that I was married to, that I'd spend the rest of my life with, that doesn't scare me. It makes me happy to think about. Cove is so cute. The both of you snuck smiles at each other. Oh my god. What about you? Would you ever want to be officially married someday? What if we said no? That's always my reaction. What happens if we say no? Yes, it's something I really want someday. I don't see myself ever getting married. I'm not sure. I only get married if I found someone really special. I haven't thought about it. You didn't want to answer. Fucking hell no. Don't say that to Cove. Cove is a bean of adorableness. Here, you guys want a cat cam real fast? There you go. What if we said, I'm not sure. We could say I'm not sure. I want to get married on jet skis that we never got to ride. I want to get married on the jet skis. We could do, I only get married if I found someone really special. I haven't thought about it. Well, let's just say yes. I don't want to upset Cove, because Cove is going to be like 4th or 1st. What was the 4th? I only get married if I found, I like that one, Zazzy. Let's do the 4th one. The only wedding you could picture was the perfect partner, someone you love dearly. I gotta go get food. Love you. I love you, Jackie. Have a nice fooding. Hope it's tasty. The only wedding, someone you love dearly. Make sure you kiss Cove lots and tell him we're gonna have lots of babies. Oh my god, Jackie. Stop. He might misinterpret that as not finding someone perfect yet. Let's hope not. Oh, I hope not, Zazzy. See you later, Jackie. Yeah, have nice foods, Jackie. You never get married just to be married. You were going to get married, it would be to someone that you truly cherished. Oh. He quickly decided to change the subject after that admission. I think he liked that answer. Love you guys. I love you, Jackie. Have a great foods. Alright, cat cam over. Different cat cam now. Although you laughed at him loudly, he only looked more determined you were going to jet ski! We're going to jet ski! No, come back. Don't leave me. Love me. Don't leave me. We're going to jet ski. We're going to jet ski. Finally. Finally. The two of you began to move quickly, make your way across the boards. Despite your excitement, you were both careful. None of you wanted an accident, especially after what happened with Cove's first jet skiing trip. You finally got your rental place. You were surprised at how easy the process was. I love my son and my wife. I love my wife's and my son's. It took no time at all for Cove to climb onto the jet ski with shaky legs. Oh, I thought it was gonna say to sit on Cove. We can't do that. Never mind. You spent this entire time wanting to get jet ski and were thrilled to finally climb onto one. It was a lime green with blue detailing. The jet ski rocked slightly as you got onto it, bobbing with the waves. I love my dad and my buggle. Aw, how wholesome he is. You looked across to Cove. He sat motionless astride his jet ski, preparing himself to start it up. Even from your distance, you could tell his hands were clamped onto the handles too tightly. He was stiff and nervous. Go, Cove, you can do it! You cheered him on, and he clapped wildly. His body language relaxed slightly. He turned his head to look at you.
Thanks.
He inhaled slowly and started up the jet ski. It roared forward, and you were surprised you could hear him squeak over the sound of the engine. He stopped after a few seconds and breathed again. After he calmed down, he started it up once more. Cove sputtered and stalled it for a while, going a little further each time. He grew more comfortable with the feel. I'm also Birdie's wife and daughter, Serenity. Technically, I think you're like my daughter-in-law, right? You're Birdie and Dharma's wife, Serenity. Yeah, it's a weird family tree. I don't understand it. He got the hang of the jet ski fairly quickly. It didn't take him long to learn how to turn properly and left it running for longer spurts of time. Cole eventually reached the point where he only stopped the jet ski when he had something to say. He kept shouting things at you. This is amazing! Did you see that, Devin? This is so great! You had gotten your own jet ski going as well. You made sure to keep a safe distance. Cove watched what you did with enthusiasm. Family web, yeah. Nice turn. He zoomed forward and you could hear his bright laugh ring across the waves. You cheered for him again, whooping whenever he did something fun. You took the jet ski like a fish in water. You never left. Yeah, let's just be good at it. This is my fantasy world. I get to do what I want. There was something intuitive about it. You had no trouble controlling the machine and enjoyed the freedom it offered. Well, I thought you were married to Darmo. Yeah, I thought you were married, too. You spun around the ocean with a wide smile on your face. Eventually, the sun set and had to be packed up. Cove was thankfully still in one piece. No cast necessary. After everything was returned, Cove dug his phone out of his bag and texted his parents to let them know all about his triumph. An idea to take a photo to mark the occasion struck Cove, and he wanted you to join him in the selfie. Oh my god, yes, we're gonna do a silly pose. Cove snickered when you got into position. He hesitated for a moment before trying his own funny face. He showed you the picture and it made you smile. It would be a nice memory. That's so fucking cute, right, Draco? Oh wait, Cerny's also Dharma's child. Yeah, it's very confusing, Zazzy. It would be a nice memory. His phone vibrated after only a moment. After testing it out, Mr. Holden and Kira had likely been waiting the entire day to find out how this outing would go. And with the news of his success, both of Cove's parents sent back how they were both proud of Cove for how far he'd come. Watching him grinning in the setting sun after facing so many fears that day, you felt the same. Aw, that was cute! Oh my goodness. That was super cute. Alright. Thank you all for being here today. You were super lovely, and I appreciate you all. And I hope that you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for hanging out. It was great seeing you for like 10.2 seconds, Queen. And I hope that you have lovely evenings. I'm gonna sign off. I'm getting very sleepy. Anyway, love you all. Good night, friends.